Hello, hello, my lovely Leos. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Leos, I don't know, y'all. We have the venom and the shadow, the offering and the vow. I feel like somebody is going to comment and be like, you don't have to hold your microphone up to your face. Here's the thing, y'all. My hair is long, and when I leave the microphone hanging down, my hair goes against the mic the entire time, and it's obnoxious as fuck. So, calm down. Leos, this is just feeling under attack. I don't get the feeling that this is really necessarily like a current energy that you're dealing with. Feel like it's just kind of like a general energy that you've dealt with, right? I know what it is to be attacked constantly. I know what it is to have people, try to set me up, to knock me down. I know what it is to have people tear me down, so that they can build themselves up. So like, come at me with your bullshit. I'm already too self-aware to do anything more than just like maybe my feelings got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you hurt my feelings, whatever. But like, I'm stronger, I'm harder, I'm a fucking Leo. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of the energy that we've been existing in. Um, just because we're headstrong, we're independent. I mean, it's just kind of like, like people can try and tell you who they think you are, but like they can't be successful at it because you are too aware of who you are, right? Um, and then you have the offering and the vow, and I mean the vow is the idea of like a commitment and a promise, and just kind of like, well, I promised that I would do this, so I will, and words are powerful. Be careful what you commit yourself to. Be careful what you promise. And I don't know, Leos, if you're offering this or if you're being offered this. Obviously, these are general reads, so take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest. But I do kind of feel like it's on the heels of, like maybe there's somebody in your life who's just like steady been coming at you. Like your family is just like, you just look at them and you're like, would you please get off my dick? You know what I mean? Or, like coworkers or, frenemies or like however that plays out for you. Because I just kind of feel like there, there is this sense of feeling really under attack by someone, and then feeling like somehow that ends up resulting in this offering. But I don't know, and I don't like it, so let's do clarifiers. Okay, Leos. Y'all got a lot of the same cards as Aries. Okay, so to go back to this venom and shadow energy, I really do think that um, whatever this was that you were dealing with, um, there was a lot of lack. There was a lot of attacking, a lot of attacks. There's just like a lot of, you know, um, I think unnecessary actions against you, toward you, about you, that just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, Leos, we're ride or die, like for sure. We're very, very loyal people, but our loyalty only goes so far. Like if you're going to be a shitty person, if you're going to make me feel or attempt to make me feel bad, if you're going to try and pull me down, if you're going to try and hurt my feelings, if you're going to try and do all these things to me, I'm going to take notice and I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I just kind of feel like there's like this point of contention where you're like, no, you know what? I paid attention, I took notice, and I'm never going to let that happen again. Um, there is a sense of, like better off on my own, like I can do this myself. I don't need for you to tear me down in order to like put me in my place, to make me what, dependent, to make me insecure, to because I just kind of get this feeling of like somebody really wants to like make you feel bad so that they can be in control. And I just kind of feel like it wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? again, like to, provide an example, I think that, like I've spent the past few years on my own, trying to figure it out, trying to understand, who I am without, like the confines of everyone around me telling me who I am. Especially because I was surrounded with family and friends who wanted to keep me in my place, um, and would attack me, according to what was useful to them, like rhetoric. Unfortunately for everyone who attempts to use rhetoric against me, I am, a student of it. Like I grew up with it. I'm very conscious and aware of it. I've done it for a living. What is advertisement if not rhetoric? Like I'm aware of it. It's part of my passion in doing tarot, because I think that people can talk circles around you and leave you feeling like you don't really know what it is, and you need somebody who can come through and say, like, let's untangle these circles. Let's look at the reality. Let's look at the logistics behind it. Um, and let's make moves in directions that are healing rather than destructive. Because I do, again, feel like there is this sense of, like I'm committed to moving forward, and I feel like for a lot of my Leos, that's just straight up moving, and I feel like you're ready for that move, because you're ready for, like I think an environment where you can feel like you're not constantly under attack, where you can feel like you're not constantly being, like having people talk circles around you or tearing you down or trying to put you in your place. Because Leos, I know we've been going through it and dealing with it for a minute now. Um, we've had to be better off on our own. We've had to really rely on ourselves and hold it down for ourselves, because we couldn't rely on other people to do it for us. And I feel like that's coming to an end. Again, I don't know, like if it's because you promised yourself that you were like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to settle for that life. I'm not going to settle for those types of relationships. I'm not going to settle for abuse. I'm not going to settle for neglect. I'm not going to settle for, twat-tastic gossip little cunts who want to run around on, like run off at the mouth about some shit they don't even know. You know what I mean? Like some people who don't know you, or your friends coming at you like, oh, I heard some shit about you. Oh, did you? It's very telling of you immediately. You know what I mean? But just like not dealing with it, not dealing with people's bullshit, because people are so full of shit, it hurts 99.9% of the time. Um, but Leos, I mean, like that, like it's true though. It is. It's true. I mean, like really, like you have to rely on yourself, focus on your strengths, shut out the naysayers, shut out the people who are attacking you, who are, causing lack around you, who are, surrounding themselves with people who will tear you down because it's convenient for them. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an easy road to walk down. And it does require a lot of strength to pull yourself out of those types of environments. And I feel like it's exactly what you've been trying to do. It's exactly what we've all been trying to do, right? Like, we just want everything to be okay. We just want to be safe. We just want to be loved. We just want to be honored and respected for who we are and the strengths that we have and what we bring to the table, because we bring a lot to the table. But like also we've been spending a lot of time surrounding ourselves with people, places, and things that want, like they want to steal your shine, and then they want to blame you for being so bright. And it's like, you know, that's not really how that works. But it's definitely how people have tried to make it work in the past. And I just think that we've had to build a lot of strength. I feel like part of this offer is, due to the strength, due to the fact that like you weren't going to be brought down, you weren't going to be, dragged through the ringer, you weren't going to, like I'm not going to just hand my power over to some dumb bitch, Um, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Well, I mean, again, there's walking away. There's, like there's an end, that's occurring for us, where we are just like going in this direction. And honestly, like on a grand scale, I would say, Pluto's leaving Capricorn finally, moving into Aquarius. We're looking at the end of a cycle that has been for, like for most of us, like half of our life, or, more or less, giving, depending on how old you are. But like a 15-year cycle is a long ass cycle. And I feel like there's just been a lot that we've dealt with. There's been a lot of different energies we've dealt with. There's been a lot of different relationships and jobs and, friendships and all of those things. We've had to have the strength to really stand on our own and to practice discernment and to, like situate ourselves to be better prepared in the future for surrounding ourselves with, like again, people, places, and things that are healing, that create balance in our lives, that offer us a sense of, I think, sustainability, like, and commitment that is like more sincere and aligned with like our own individual sense of like commitment and sincerity. Because we have gone through the process of learning, we have gone through the process of like empowered decision making, and the Four of Wands is like minor arcana lovers, and I feel like for a lot of us there is this sense here of just like feeling loved, I mean, like feeling loved, feeling like you have friends, feeling like you have a supportive family or a supportive partner. It makes all the difference in the world. Community really is very, very vital to us as humans. And Leos, we're very independent people. We are, oftentimes hyper independence is something that we struggle with in terms of like mental health issues. But I feel like that's changing for us. We're stepping into a sense of community. We're stepping into a sense of feeling safe, feeling like we can finally start to really heal some of the things that have really been preventing us from healing. And I always, it's going to have everything to do with the fact that you stand in your truth. You don't back down. Like I'm not gonna back down, and I'm not gonna hand it over. I'm going to stand in my truth because like that's the only way I'm going to get the justice that I deserve. And I think that's what you've done, and I think you're finally getting what you deserve. And I hope it's good for you, Leos, because obviously that depends on who you are and how you operate and what your intentions are. But for my Leos out here who've been busting ass, and we've been doing the best we can, and we've been holding our boundaries and standing our ground and not allowing for other people to tear us down, isolating when we needed to, and like focusing on ourselves, instead of focusing on the naysayers and the haters and whatever else there is out there in the streets. Like I think that we're finally starting to experience some justice around that. Like we're finally starting to really feel safe. The Threshold and the Orphan. Well, I mean, to go back to the idea of hyper independence, you know what I mean? Better off on my own, because if I'm on my own, then nobody can fuck me over. If I'm on my own, nobody can tear me down. If I'm on my own, nobody can try and hurt me. And I feel like that's definitely been kind of an energy that we've existed in. Definitely one of like trusted few, right? Our golden bubble. I don't want to expand my bubble because I don't trust people. But I feel like there's almost this sense of like your bubble's expanding. Your horizons are like becoming larger, and you're starting to heal. And what you're healing, I think, is this sense of abandonment, this sense of I have to do everything by myself and I can't rely on other people because, like other people are bad. and that's not true. That's not. It's really not. But it's definitely a feeling that I think we've struggled with, and it's not an easy feeling, especially because we are very independent people. And I think that like that can be something that's used against us, like, oh, Leos are selfish, or Leos are only, out there for themselves, or they only care about themselves. And it's like, I mean, you can only love other people as much as you love yourself. the most important thing that I can do in my life is love myself, take pride in myself, be proud, like be proud of who I am and what I've accomplished and how I've accomplished it, so that I'm able to do that for others, you know, like be the cheerleader. I feel like most people in my life, like I am kind of low key like cheerleader vibes. I'm a Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo Venus though. So it's just like natural for me to be overly exuberant with my enthusiasm. Um, but you want to see people win. You want, and you want the people around you to want the same thing for you, you know, and that somehow seems to get twisted oftentimes into, like everything's about you, and it's like no, but like if we operate from a love of self, then we're going to operate for a love of others, and is that not like a key vital ingredient to success? Yeah, ops. So like, excuse me while I learn to love myself. Excuse me while I take control of my life. Excuse me while I heal, so that I'm not continuing in toxic cycles and toxic relationships and toxic environments. And I feel like that's what's happening here, just kind of that, like, I don't even know that I want to say excuse me while I do this, because I feel like you've been in that energy of like, excuse me while I'm taking care of myself. Excuse me while I do this. And now I feel like you got to a place where you were able to really start taking care of yourself. And now it's more of a sense of like, now I want to open up the doors. Now I want to let people in. Now I feel more ready for this. Now I feel more supported in this. Now I feel da 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 da, and I love that for us Leos. I really do, because I know it's been rough, and we've been out here doing our best. But yeah, I do love y'all so much. I hope very much that this resonates with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me. If this did resonate, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.